My name is Sridhar, DV Sridhar, and I am a yoga teacher. We have an institute called Yoga Rakshanam, which is situated in Chennai, Besanagar. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankachakra-sidharinam sahasrashirasam shvetam pranamami patanjalim Srimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha. This is a prayer to sage Patanjali, who gave us yoga in the form of Yoga Sutras. Yoga under Yoga Sutra has a specific definition which says that yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta, very loosely translated, is mind. Vritti means activity. Nirodha means to focus or to control the activities of the mind, is what is yoga is all about. So the first one, for that Patanjali has devised a scheme called Ashtanga Yoga, which are 8 limbs of yoga practice. So the first thing that can distract us is a relationship with people around us. The relationship with society, the relationship with my wife, with the husband, children, neighbors, friends, etc., etc., can have a great impact on our mind. So the first one, Niyama, talks about certain factors, certain practices which can help us to have harmonious relationship with people around us. Satya generally means truth, but here Satya means how we communicate is what is Satya. Speech is like an atom bomb, it can just blow up a very strong relationship. So he says in Satya, is that we have to think and ponder before you speak. Communicate properly, communicate well, because communicate to foster relationship, not for spoiling the relationship. Then the second layer of practice is called Niyama. Niyama means where I am very comfortable with my own self. I am comfortable with what I am comfortable and I try to keep myself comfortable. And it also has 5 type of practices that Patanjali has said. And one of them, the last one I would like to pitch in, which says Ishvara Pranidhana. It says that to be connected with something higher force. So there are 5 under Niyama which goes on to say how we can be happy with our own self. Okay, 2 factors are taken care of. One, the society. One, my own self. I am happy with myself. I am happy with the surroundings that I have. The third factor that can affect me is my health, my body. When the body is not cooperating or when the body has got some diseases, that can be a big distraction. Of course, it can also be a big pain. That's a different issue, but we are talking about meditation. For meditation, good health is very, very important. So we have this asana practice, and asana practice is based on working on the body, focusing on the body, and to keep the body in a healthy condition. The healthy body where the body does not come in between me and what I wanted to do in my life. Maybe especially when you're talking about meditation, when I sit for meditation, my knees should not say, please open up, I can't sit so too long crossed like this. Or my back should not say that, please lean on something and hurting. They should be able to cooperate and do what I want to do with my life. So that is the purpose of asana practice. Then So that is taking care of. Bodies, you want to keep the body maintained in a good shape, you want to keep the body in a healthy state so that we are comfortable with life. So we have the next sequence of practice known as Pranayama, the fourth one, Pranayama, where we work on the life force, what is called Prana. Prana is a life force, and Prana is the one differentiates between a living body and a non-living body. So this Prana has to be stabilized. That's why we call Pranayama. Yama means to strengthen, to stabilize something. So we want to strengthen the Prana inside the body. So strengthen the Prana means you are looking for a long life, you are looking for an energetic and a comfortable life is what is the main purpose of Pranayama. And we are using the breath for both asana practice and Pranayama. In asana practice, we are using the breath to work on the body, and in Pranayama, we have used the body to work on the breath, and through the breath, work on the life force Prana. Then the fifth one is that we are taking care of the surroundings, we are taking care of our own self, we are taking care of the body, we are taking care of the energy level of the body so that I'm not sleepy, when I want to meditate, I don't fall off sleep or something like that. So that is the fourth one. And the fifth one is Pratyahara. Ahara means food, Pratyahara means we want to deny food to the senses which it wants, which is inimical to me and to my life. So that is the idea of Pratyahara. Then comes the idea of doing meditation, the last three of them known as Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi or meditation. So these 8 limbs together make up the practice of yoga, and that is what has been explained beautifully by Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra. What type of Yoga Sutras that can help to calm the mind? First, when somebody is under stress, there are 4 symptoms. The first symptom is when there is a sense of unhappiness. Number 2 is it triggers negative thoughts in the mind. Anything they look, they can't look at it positively, they tend to look at that negatively. For instance, if somebody is supposed to come home by 8 o'clock and this person doesn't turn up by 8:10, then the mind starts thinking, why he didn't come? Can there be an accident? Or can there be something happened nasty to him? The car broke down, etc. etc. Mind starts thinking this. This is what we call as a negative attitude of the mind. Second one. It triggers negative thoughts. Third one is that it says that the body, you are unable to keep the body in one place. You want to move, you want to speak, you want to do something with the body because the body cannot be quiet when somebody is under stress. And the fourth symptom is that the breath becomes becomes short and fast. So it's very nicely written. So finally first says that whenever somebody is in trouble, there is always a tendency to jump from one solution to another. There are a lot of well-meaning friends, relatives, each one gives one solution, and somebody is really disturbed, then he wants to jump, he is impatient and jumps from one solution to another. So the first one he cautions, never do that. Find out one way how we are going to calm down the mind and then stick to that. I give it a fair try. So this advice is both to the person who is under stress and also the yoga teacher who is trying to help him out of this. Says that find out one methodology and try to give it a fair try before you jump to other solution. Use sleep as a solution. So the first step in removing the stress in the person is that to accept the present situation. Okay, I am here. Then what shall I do next? Instead of saying why I am here, the Yoga Sutra says that accept where you are, but look for a solution. How I can move out of this situation to a better place, to a place where there is less dukkha. Dukkha means unhappiness. You want to move out of this. Stress is because of unhappiness of something, and once unhappiness is removed, then I think stress will be removed. So Yoga Sutra as such is not going to reduce the stress by chanting it. By practicing some of these which is relevant to the person, we can work on the stress. What are the different benefits of Sutra? So when I say benefit of Sutra, we are talking about benefit of practicing yoga. So yoga practice, which is in the hallmark of Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutra says that yoga is practice of yoga. Practicing it, diligently is what is yoga. And the practice of yoga starts from what is said, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, etc., etc. So what is going to give us? First one, what is going to give us is what we call as ananda. Ananda means happiness. There are two words in Sanskrit for happiness. One is sukham and one is ananda. Sukham is happiness that we get from outside, by eating something, by drinking something, by talking to someone, watching a cricket match, or watching a movie, etc., etc. These are the happiness that comes from outside, what is called as sukham. And we believe that this sukham is short-lived and not permanent. And what you are looking for is happiness which is permanent, which is everlasting, and this happiness can come only from within. But unhappiness comes into us because of the worldly pressures, and when we start looking at outside, etc., etc. So the main focus of yoga is that we wanted to eliminate these factors which can bring us unhappiness. When you eliminate these factors that bring in unhappiness, naturally happiness from within will grow. And yoga is trying to, main focus of yoga is to bring in what we call this ananda. Ananda is pure joy. Joy that is from within and not because of I am consuming something or I am seeing something, etc., etc. Joy that is from within. So the main focus of yoga is to reduce dukkham and not replace with sukham, and to try to replace with ananda. That is the happiness that comes from within. How can sutras empower and create positivity in your life? The whole focus of yoga is to empower people to achieve what they are capable of achieving. Biggest problem we have is that we are trying to live to the norms set by the society. So, and same thing, and each man's success is measured by what he is doing in his profession, by his money or promotion, etc., etc. So what yoga is trying to do is that to reverse this process, to find out what is important in life for us and to achieve this in our life. We don't want to be following the dictates of society. We are not going to follow or accept success as what society says. I decide what I want in life and I wanted to achieve this in my life. Can yoga help to strengthen relationship? Certainly, yes. As we were discussing before, the first anga of yoga is what is known as yama. Yama is about maintaining harmony in the relationship with people around us. It is always easy to steal something, but to maintain this and to use it without getting caught is what is going to put me under stress. And also when I am under stress, my relationship with others is going to be spoiled. The type of asanas that we can use to remove blockage or negativity. The asanas, there are any number of asanas. And we have to pick and choose depending upon the situation that somebody is in. For instance, if somebody is having fear, then we can use asana like Virabhadrasana, Shalabhasana, Chakravakasana, etc., which opens up the spine, opens up your heart, etc. And we also believe that asanas like this will increase the confidence level of the person. If that is what is lacking, then we can look for such asanas. Or there can be some asanas where people do not have, where the digestion is poor. Because of that, they don't want to eat, or they are afraid to eat, or they eat less, etc., etc. So we can use some of the asanas like Jatra Parvriti, some of the Trikonasana, some twist, etc., which can focus especially on digestion of the system. About pranayama. Pranayama is the fourth anga of the Ashtanga practice and an important link in the yoga practice. So if you look at other texts which talk about yoga, they say that the best practice among the yoga practices is the practice of pranayama. Pranayama comes from the word prana plus ayama. Prana is a life force, like we said before, and ayama is to strengthen or to make this life force stronger, is what is pranayama is all about. So this pranayama is based on the fact that there are 5 forces in our body, what are known as vayus, which maintain our body in a good, healthy state. So these are the 4 forces that we have. One is the prana, the main life force, leader, and then we got samana, which is the digestive part, which is up to the navel, and then we have got the vyana, who is the distributor of energy and collector of the malas, what should be discarded by the body, is the third one, and the fourth one is apana, which collects what the vyana brings in and then disperses them from the body. And there is a 5th force, which is known as udana, which maintains our equilibrium. This is that how your emotional balance is the last job of udana, and udana is supposed to be situated in the throat. Right. So I am going to give some simple pranayama for working on all these 5 forces. The first one is to work on prana. So first one, before that, any pranayama we do, we want to keep the spine erect. So what we do, you find a position where you are comfortable to sit with, either sit in Sukhasana or sit in Padmasana at the extreme, and whichever asana you are comfortable to sit on the floor. If you are not comfortable sitting on the floor, please you can sit on a right. So first we find a situation where we are comfortable to sit, and then second item is to get the spine erect. So what we do is we exhale, draw the stomach in. I first inhale into my chest, get my upper back straight, then I inhale into the stomach, I get my lower back straight. Then now the spine is straight, I exhale head down slightly without disturbing the spine. So we want to be in this position to start our pranayama, where the spine is straight, comfortable, and head is loose and down, not necessarily fully down, but it must be in a comfortable position. The idea is that body should not be an hindrance for doing our pranayama. Okay. So this is only a small example I want to give, and there are many asanas, many pranayamas, and different methodologies to do meditation, etc. And as you know that it's always best to learn it from a teacher, because asana is not a generalized course. Asana is meant for a particular person. So depending on the person's place, evolution, I think yoga teacher can decide where to start and how to move forward. The whole process of yoga is to move forward, and that I think we need help of a teacher to do this. So I want to conclude saying that all these techniques are there, but the main focus of yoga is that we should be happy and comfortable in life. Happiness should not be short-lived. Happiness should not be dependent upon outside. Happiness must come from within. And how to discover this and how to flower this is what the whole purpose of yoga. Thank you.